Hi there, welcome into Energy Upgrade Feng Shui Tips 2022. I'm Lisa. I'm a Feng Shui Master Trainer and Quantum Energy Alignment Practitioner. And I just lit my candle to embed my intentions into the session I call Energy Upgrade, and you'll be participating along. It is my intention to connect with you and to check in with the current cosmic energy surrounding all of us. It is May 1st on my end, but if you're receiving this at a later date, you're finding this at the exact right time. There are no accidents, as we were discussing in last week's or the previous session. So if you missed that, go ahead and pop on back to that and you can get a better read on the whole story. So I want to thank each and every one of my current subscribers, and those of you who are new. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And it's been such a joy to be sitting here with you each week and hearing your stories too, because we're really painting quite the picture. And what's really cool is that we do have more in common than we don't, right? So in this process, I'm asking that you bring your intention to the table, your intuition, check in with yourself, and most importantly, your highest self. Let's try to leave our egos at the door and keep an open mind. To get started, you may want to take some deep cleansing breaths. I like to take 9 of everything. I'm from Cloud 9 Feng Shui after all, right? So the number 9 in Feng Shui is highly auspicious, and it means completion and completion of a cycle, and it means it's a heavenly number, and it means that when we do something with the number 9, that we are multiplying it with intention of our greatest and highest good. So if we're looking to attract abundance, if we're looking to maintain harmony, and it's something that I like to share with my clients, friends, and families, to use the number 9 as often as possible to really further instill and perhaps even activate your intentions and your goals a little bit further. So grab your notebook. If you are returning, you probably have a journal. But if you're new here, grab a notebook. Get a nice free-flowing pen. I prefer black ink, a new black ink pen if you have one. It's greater for writing out contracts. We use that as a ritual practice in Feng Shui to write our contracts in brand new black ink pens. I ask that you too have your favorite beverage or your tea or your water nearby, because you want to be fully hydrated as we're exchanging energy, and our bodies are made of 70% water. So on my end here, May 1st, we just had the lunar eclipse last night going into this morning here on the East Coast. And so if you really are intuitive, maybe empath, sensitive to the energies, you probably felt something in that lunar eclipse, some sort of shift, something going on. It impacts our sleep, our body rhythms. And so I'm asking, when we're sharing energy through these means, that you be fully hydrated. So you have your pen, your notepad, so you can write on your notepad your goals, your desires, your higher than the stars goal, something that's going to something you can easily paint a picture in your mind of your desired life, and it doesn't need to have any walls or any societal norms around it. Picture how you wish to go to bed and wake up, and right from when you plant your feet on the floors, even to what you pick out to wear in the day, and so on and so forth, living your best life. And hold that in mind and write down your goals and your desire, your intentions you wish to embody in this week. I'm going to Divine of the Ancient I Ching. I've already set it up prior to this because it saves time. The Ancient I Ching is an environmental science book, in a way, an ancient text that tells us the story of the rhythms of nature. And in a divinatory way, we're looking at the patterns of nature so we can learn about ourselves as humans. And divining using 3 Chinese coins, or some of you may use tarot, or you may spiritual tells with a pendulum. All of these are ways that we can remove our ego from a situation. Really valuable tools. And so I've already gone ahead and divined of the Ancient I Ching. If you need to put this on pause do all the things, make sure you're fully present and settled. I invite you to do so and then come back because we're going to get started. And I'm going to take a sip of my tea before we get started. Okay, lovely. So let's take a look at what I pulled just prior from the Ancient Book of Changes. And I love this. This is the current energy. I asked of the Ancient I Ching to please tell me what is the energy surrounding those wishing to receive an energy upgrade as of May 1st. And it resulted in 2 hexagrams. Number 16, enthusiasm. One of my favorites. We've had it before, but not in this combination with hexagram number 27, yi. And enthusiasm and nourishment combined together are telling the story. And I'm going to jump into it. Before I get into the story, let's do an emotional aura harmonization using my software. Those of you who have been with me for a while are familiar. And this software exchanges energy between us using the back channels of EMF, the positive channels. So as we know, in Feng Shui, we look at the Tai Chi, the yin and the yang of all the things. And we know that there's bad aspects to electricity and electromagnetic fields, but if there's bad, there's also good. And this software works along those lines. So if you're ready to receive, take a deep breath. And I am going to use the intuitive software, the intuitive discernment of this software to see where we are with our emotional aura field. Okay, needing to access contentment within yourself. Underlying this, we're going to be removing toxic emotional situations, and that's a negativity of self energy. Accessing cultivation of inner peace within myself, getting rid of know-it-all syndrome, shy personality, being shame-based, and then relax without guilt. How many of you out there feel really seen right now by what I'm pulling? And again, the exact right people receive this message each and every time, and it always amazes me what results. And this isn't something that I've typed in ahead of time. This is generated right here. Needing to access, knowing my inner strength cannot be threatened. Really, really powerful pull here. And so to talk more about aura fields, if you aren't aware, there is an aura around all of us, and it is a membrane of energy that can sometimes get tears and permeations from the stresses of life, and it just happens. Even energy practitioners, we do a lot of work to clean our aura, our clients' aura as well, and to make sure that we are repairing it as well as we can to restore it so we can be operating at our 100% best self. And that involves also being able to align and attune our energies within all of our chakras. On this procedure here, what we're doing is removing that which no longer serves and accessing what we need to restore our best aura field at this time. And I'm going to go ahead and let it run for 5 minutes, and then we're going to get back to the I Ching and come back and see what results of this for us. So more on that. Okay, so we're back to this beautiful reading and telling the story again of hexagram number 16 and hexagram 27, the changing energy. So there's 3 change lines here. I know there's a lot going on in the divine and on the human realm and the environments around us. And what the I Ching tells us is now is the time to really take joy in all that you do. There should be no complacency. There should be no, hemming and hawing. If you're doing that, just don't do it anymore. I understand we have responsibilities and bills and things we need to take care of and people we need to take care of. But this is more in reference to, even daily tasks that maybe we're creating for ourselves that are unnecessary. Maybe we're creating tasks for ourselves and creating a to-do list that isn't even effective anymore. Maybe it's antiquated. Maybe we don't need to have a to-do list even. So really, if this is speaking to you, evaluate what you're doing within your life, and maybe you try something new. Maybe you bring in a new practice. Maybe you start meditating at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock if you're feeling extra. But inject something new to recreate that feeling of wonder and awe that we have as children. That's the fastest way to be able to access the sense of joy that the I Ching paints in telling of a story. In one of the texts that I read in consulting for us here today, it tells the story of a concert, or a musician, and just the electricity that's shared between the performers and the crowd. And it's almost like, if you are able to see auras, that's your best display of auras right there, and unison. And when you're able to generate this joy from within, this high vibe joy, it radiates exponentially further than you can even imagine. And this is something you can do in meditation as well, is generate this energy and radiate it outward. And that's very healing to those very near to you and yourself, and also those very far. So what it tells the story of is a genuine joy. It can't be faked, it can't be forced, and you can't tell people to feel the joy that you feel. And it needs to be a feeling that is shared, again, and radiated. It can't be dictated, and it's hard to paint that picture and come across genuine. Even if you do feel very genuine, it needs to be felt. And when you have that inner light, trust me, it's felt. Just like you see a singer on stage and they have that inner joy, it is felt by everyone all the way in the back of a stadium or open air concert. So you can generate this type of joy and enthusiasm in your everyday life. And that means shedding things that no longer serve, and maybe even just finding new surroundings and new people to collaborate with and just laugh with, and maybe even sing with or do something new with. And that unity that you feel when your joy is just kind of like passed like a ball around in a circle, and someone else picks it up and someone else picks it up. It's helpful and nourishing to everyone to share in that joy. If you're feeling that others aren't catching up to you or catching on, just slow down a little bit. If you know that they're your inner circle, they'll catch up to you, but you're not going to be able to drag them into joy. So again, it needs to be very, very genuine. Trust your intuition. The time to act is now. If there's an opportunity, if a benefactor is presenting to you and you're thinking about seeking some assistance in something that you desire some help in, ask. Don't hem and haw, ask. Ask for help if you meet your benefactor. If you see an opportunity, jump on it. If it feels a little scary, it's still for you. It's better to take that jump and try something new and to be a big dreamer and to maybe fall a little short than to never try, right? Don't be afraid to take risk and to dream bigger than you ever have. And you will feel so alive and so satisfied just for even having the courage to take that step. And each time you can break past that hesitation and really trust in yourself and check in with yourself, you are growing. And in your life path journey, as we talk about the necessity to, perfect timing, as we talk about that necessity to tap into knowledge and wisdom and really you align with your creativity and inspiration and finding your helpful people and generating an inner light and attracting abundance and relationships and all of that, it all works together harmoniously. And without expanding and taking the risk and taking that step, you're not going to be able to get that momentum going. So first, take the step and take another step and get that momentum going, one foot before the other. So what generated out of our emotional aura calibration here is you will most likely need forgiveness in the future to be forgiven. Your will need to forgive. Your will need to forgive? I almost feel like that's a typo. Okay, so let's write this out. Write it in cursive. Tell me what it means to you. Maybe the words are written this way for a reason. I don't know. I don't write these. But write it in cursive. And is forgiveness coming into your field at this time? I know I've had a few people come to me looking and seeking for forgiveness and help in that area. And we talked about it last week. We talked about the practice of Ho'oponopono, if it is something that you seek. We must forgive ourselves first. But yes, write this out in cursive and I'll tell you why. You will most likely need forgiveness in the future. To be forgiven, you will need to forgive. So I think it means you will need to forgive, but you can write it down as it is. Words are healing, and they can be hurtful sometimes. They contain an energy. Okay, I wrote it down in cursive. So the reason why I write in cursive is because it lights up different areas of our brains. It integrates different parts of our brains that wouldn't be used otherwise had we been typing or writing in normal text. So our handwriting, in a way, can be a conduit and an activator of energy. So writing in cursive allows these words to fully integrate within all the levels of your awareness and consciousness, which is what we desire when we're trying to restore our emotional aura field. Let me know in the comments if this resonates with you, the comments about forgiveness. And so yes, look up Ho'oponopono again. This keeps coming up, so I feel like I need to share it again. You can YouTube it. I don't have any one recommendation. They're all very beautiful practices. And that being said, I want to leave you with a supercharge for the week. Let's see. And then I'm going to give you a Feng Shui tip too. Let's see if this is too busy looking. Okay, I hope you can see this okay. I'm going to leave this up. So we're going to be charging Energy Upgrade YouTube viewers, you watching at home, with the frequencies of course, abundance. And so also with the software, I'm able to clear as well, but we've already ran the emotional aura frequency calibration, and it's done a great job of removing that which no longer serves in terms of frequencies. I'm sending in some supercharged frequencies to you to support you for 2 weeks. So that will overlap with our next time that we get together. Let's send some prosperity your way. Again, I'm sending courage, authenticity. Don't be afraid to be yourself. You don't need to be, if there's someone else in your line of work perhaps, or within your circle or your neighborhood that you idolize, I invite you to really look within yourself and see what you admire about yourself and what you desire to project of yourself, because you are original. And I guarantee you there's someone looking up to you right now, and especially if you have children. Okay, so also I want to send you with discernment and to trust your intuition. Trust. And let's see what else. Oh, duh. Wonder, awe, and joy. Of the highest vibration, so much so that it carries you through this week and just attracts in abundance and the right people around you, and just generates this bubbling up of courage and forward momentum for everything that you have written down on your paper. And I encourage you, while this is running too, whenever you see a mantra or words of wisdom that is generated, that you write it 9 times again. Place it somewhere on Post-it notes. You can put it on your car dashboard or your desktop or bathroom mirror, by the door, and somewhere you're going to walk by it frequently, because words have a way of integrating in with our psyche in a way that is very beneficial, and that was the intention today. In terms of generating a joy that radiates and inspires and uplifts everyone for the greatest and highest good, I would like for you to take a look at 2 areas within your home or your workspace. And that would be the areas in the center back wall of your home or your workspace, your office or desktop. And again, that's the area of fame or inner flame. And I'm asking that you place something that represents fire there, fire energy. And if you want to stoke that fire, add some wood to feed into that fire energy and create more of it without having to add more. And I also invite you to take a look at, if you're looking into your home from the front door, and please open and close your front door a few times this week, even if you come in through the garage. Look at the wall on the center right wall of your home, and that area contains the energy of creativity and children, and it generates joy and that wonder and all that we desire too much, so much, not too much, so much, so much. And so it's so important that you activate these two areas together in this week. So the area of creativity in children, it is ruled by metal. Make sure there's a lot of representation of metal in that room. Doesn't need to be all metal, but metal can be represented by color. It can be metal objects. Place something there also that is round, that can represent metal. I like to use globes in this area because it contains all of the elements, and it contains a lot of metal, and that is a round sphere, and that it often has metal on it. So place that with your intention, any mantra that you desire to use, and repeat it 9 times, holding in mind your greatest goal for the greater and highest good for yourself, the best life that you desire. And this should hopefully give you some clarity and insight where you are right now on your journey. And if it is, I want to hear about it, because we can build upon this session and make it more of what you need. But to do that, I need to hear your feedback. And I will respond to every comment that I get and every email that I do receive. So please check out the link provided in my bio. You can find all the places that you can hook up with me, send me a message, let me know what's going on. If you're interested in learning Feng Shui with me, the next session starts May 11th, and I do have a live kickoff event co-hosted with my partner in crime, Steve Kodad of the Feng Shui Cure. And we also will be recording that and sharing it with all of our students in the session. And so if that's something that you desire to learn at this time, we would love to have you and see if you're a great fit for us. Enrollment is still open. Again, I'm Lisa Albin, and it's been a great pleasure and honor to have you here in this session. And I want to hear about your successes. So keep them coming in. I'll see you next week. Many blessings times 9.